So this is this guy's district, okay? As you can see, this is very close to the rest of New York, and all of this, I think almost all of this, New Yorkers can correct me, is like basically tied into the city. So his campaigning, from what I understand, focused more on being down here and in the North Bronx and stuff, which is this kind of area, than being up here. I don't know this all super well, but from what I understand, most of the concerns with his campaign and the reasons that he was usurped by the guy who usurped him was because he what do you call it? He just didn't campaign well in the suburbs and stuff, and a lot of people came out against him. There was also the largest, so to say, it was the most expensive, what do you call that? Primary. It was the most expensive primary in election history, but I'm always dubious about the most expensive anything in elections because they don't weight those with inflation. So we are constantly having more and more expensive elections, and it might even be more cost per person. But I think at $14 million, I don't think that was that expensive in the grand scheme of elections, particularly considering the fact that this isn't an election in, it's not a Democratic primary election in fucking Lexington, even for Congress. It's a congressional race election in one of the wealthiest regions of America. So there's a lot of money to be thrown around in this area. Also, from what I understand, a lot of those Jamal Bowman showed up at some of those protests, right? The ones on the college campuses that got out of fucking hand, and he was for those riots and protests, however you want to articulate it, which cool for the kids that go to school there, but not kids that go to school at a college don't always live in that area or register to vote, and they're not routine voters. They just aren't. Older people are. So there's a lot of talk from what I've seen trying to look this stuff up on the internet that he really failed his suburban base as far as connecting to them and seeming like he was talking to them, because he was really tied to Ocasio-Cortez's campaign, which I think is further south from here, and she won her election against some fucking Wall Street guy, and he got beat by a dude who has been in Democratic politics for like 3 decades. This is the guy. Jamal Bowman was who people were really throwing their weight behind in the progressive victory movement, and he's a person that they brought Vaush out to talk about. And I think what I'm going with this is kind of to do a full breakdown and an opening up and a real post-mortem of this election requires way more expertise than I have, but just me looking in from the outside, which a lot of times is kind of, will get you in the ballpark fairly accurately of why people are voting the way that they are. I think his messaging was fucked all around, and his supporters were not the people who vote for him. like Jamal Bowman was really liked by people who literally were traveling from outside of his district to campaign for him, which is not something that necessarily translates to a win, particularly when the people are Vaush. But we're going to go ahead and look at this. This is the Yonkers Times. Yonkers is huge. Some of you may remember Yonkers from World War Z fame and the Tyler the Creator song of the same name. However, this is what's going on here with the Yonkers Times. News in Yonkers and around Westchester, which is his district. Anti-Zionist YouTuber campaigns for Bowman for Congress, New York 16. This is area. Look at this month. I don't know why, but for some reason, every time I see him, the era. No, I don't know why there's feet down there. The era always, to me, is like, because this room just gets more and more cluttered as time goes on. And I just remember this fucking, I always look for this fucking ramen thing. I don't know why that's where my eye first goes whenever I see him. That and his completely unreadable chat. I feel like having the hyper readable chat will make people be more like scrutinous of what's going on in your chat, because like you have to look really closely. People are probably looking at mine like, I just don't really give a shit because it's easy to read. Oh, hi Vaush. What's the opposite of a kingmaker? Fuck, there's actually a term for that, for people who are it's like my brain is saying the word dead leg. That's not real. But it basically, there's a term for people that are like a yoke around your neck for an election. That actually is a fucking literal term. Poison pill is something that's akin to it. As a person that exists, I wouldn't want my name at this point, especially, thrown in the hat. I wouldn't want my parents to find out that I had a friendly interaction with this guy. I'm in my mid 30s, and I would still be lightly ashamed of my parents finding out that I even watched this guy's shit, because I would know I have to fucking describe extensively why I stopped and how much I don't like him now. You know what I mean? Because he's just a fucking absolute fucking menace. But we're gonna read this story. This is by Dan Murphy. There's no way it's the Dan Murphy that I went to school with. I'm just gonna pretend like that's not the case. Voters in the Democratic Party for Congress. Man, dude, it's rough out there. It's rough in these fucking streets, bro. It's rough in these fucking streets. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Tat. What's up, June? Missed some wild shit. The opposite of a kingmaker, that's a Cenk-Uygur. Literally. Trying to be king and failing while also saying everybody else that's going to be king can't be. For either Jamal Bowman or George Latimer, AOC and Bernie Sanders have come to support Bowman, while Hillary and former Governor David Paterson are supporting Latimer. One of our readers sent us the following email about another supporter of Bowman. I am a reader of your publications and particularly enjoy the coverage of Jamal Bowman. As we head into the final weekend, some people are planning to canvass for the benefit of Bowman, including by an organization called Progressive Victory, which includes many online personalities with a range of views. Among those planning to canvass for Bowman is a YouTuber and streamer called Ian Kaczynski, known as Vaush, who has over 550k subs on YouTube. Vaush has been a vocal opponent of Israel and has also recently been embroiled in a rather embarrassing non-political scandal after opening a folder of drawn and very disgusting pornography while live streaming. It's not even like I'm predicting anything. It's just the most obvious thing to possibly fucking happen. Considering the storm that caused, it may be of interest to your readers who is canvassing for this member of the squad, as the canvassing is scheduled for June 22nd to 23rd. Vaush, whose real name is Ian Kaczynski, is it Kaczynski? Is it not Kaczynski? I would almost believe, even though this guy made a misspelling, that it's Kaczynski. Has half a million followers on YouTube. His bio reads, "Hi, I'm Vaush. I believe progressive socialism is the best solution to the problems all countries face, and I'm here to make arguments in favor of that belief. I broadcast live streams where I do debates, cover current topics." Well, that's a lie. Critique media. Vaush recently posted YouTube videos where he narrates his views on the Bowman-Latimer News 12 debate and speculated whether questions were planted by Latimer supporters. Vaush has called for an invasion of Israel by the U.S. In my mind, I was saying it's dubious whether or not Vaush's being attached to Progressive Victory was like, because I was like, hopefully no one noticed. That was my thing. But this is the Yonkers Times. I don't know. I don't live in Yonkers. I can't speak to the circulation of this publication, but I'm going to bet you 20 fucking bucks. Anyone who didn't know about Jamal Bowman and Vaush before this, that would be very bad to find out about it, now knows. Because it doesn't take everyone reading the newspaper in the real world. If you've never been offline and you're like, well, Vaush couldn't have done that much damage. If you've never been offline, I worked in the newspaper industry, okay? And I know for a fact that like literally less than fucking 10 to 15% of the population of our area actually had a subscription to the newspaper. But every time I wrote a story, everyone knew what happened in the story, right? Either it was picked up by other fucking publications or the news, or just word of mouth spread it. Because if you have a newsy friend who actually subscribes to the news, they will fucking rattle in your ear about what they hear on the news, especially if they are old people offline. If I would not be surprised if this fucking thing spread like wildfire through like Facebook neighborhood groups in Yonkers and everybody heard about this. At which point I could very well see people going, holy fucking shit, Jamal Bowman might actually be bad for America. Oh my God. Vox Populi, VOX. Vaush. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. That actually is funny. My bad. Could still be post hoc. This could be after the fact. Let's see. This was published on June 23rd. The election was last night. So this is days ahead of the primary election. So no, this is June. This is the great thing about news. You don't have real shit. You can just look up where the fuck it came from. Please, if you're in the area, support the Yonkers Times. YonkersTimes.com. This is written by Dan Murphy, who better not be the Dan Murphy I went to fucking college with. That'd be hilarious. But it's a very basic name. Vaush recently posted YouTube videos where he narrates his own views. Okay, yeah. He's called for an invasion of Israel by the U.S., which... It has engaged other real celebrities like author J.K. Rowling in an online war of words, tweeting, women be quieter and start apologizing. Every fucking person who ever has been like, Tyler, you're blowing that out of proportion. That's not a real thing. You are fucking too online. You're too online. You're too online. Never forget, I tan. White as I am. I go outside. This is the proof. Look. Do you see that? Do you see what I can do? Look at what they... Look, Mark, what they need to achieve even a fraction of our power. I go outside. When I tell you how people think, listen to me. You don't have to believe me, but I want you to really listen and don't try to dream up arguments based on shit you heard in YouTube videos. When I tell you the score, understand I am not wrong a lot of the time, especially when it comes to predicting fucking normie behavior, because I talk to normies. I am your bridge in that direction as far as you're concerned. People are like, I don't think that J.K. Rowling thing is going to be that big of a deal. Dude, you have no fucking idea. Here's the thing. You probably thought, like, well, that's not going to make a fucking Democrat vote against a Republican, or a Republican vote against the Democrat, whatever. That's not going to happen like that. No, dude, you're going to lose primaries. You're going to lose the fucking spirit of your own fucking coalition before it's even born. Because, and I mean, like, think of anyone that turned Vaush on. Anyone. Think of anyone that just searched for Vaush's name. Jamal Bowman Vaush. Let's see. I imagine. Let's just see what happens. Okay, let's see. YouTube. Jamal. Is it 2 A's? Jamal Bowman Vaush. Okay, thank God the majority report comes up. He's crushed because Vaush is too fucking crazy. And he's too fucking interesting. So instead of doing, let's just see what happens when you do Vaush. Got him. He's live. I went to New York and all I got was a heat stroke. Cigar Ingenti has lost his mind. Oh, I know. How about this? Who is Vaush? What would a normie search look like? I'm sorry if you're just listening. It just says, "Is Vaush a it's a fucking Bad Empanada live video? Is Vaush a pedophile? Let's look at the evidence." Vaush's endless dishonesty, honesty, confession of a Florida fan. The Vaush is unironically evil from Doomer. Then we actually get some Vaush stuff. Who is Vaush? Vaush is a pedophile. An honest conversation about Vaush. New evidence, I have to speak up. The Vaush Effect by Noah Samson. Vaush is a freak. Vaush is unironically evil and should quit. Willie Mack show 4 months ago. Lock him up. Oh, Vaush gets asked if Lenin was good. Vaush is unironically evil post commentary. Oh my gosh. And then we're and then it's just like, would you actually like to listen? You don't seem interested in Vaush. Would you like to listen to Destiny instead? So this is it. Just so it would be unbiased. The evidence is very, very biased. I mean, like, here's the thing. No one cares. Don't defend Vaush to me. First off, I don't care. And I think that Vaush should permanently log off the internet. My thing is, Vaush is toxic. Vaush has done nothing good. Can I just put it that way? Vaush has done nothing good. Unless maybe you are a person that he's pulled away from the... Why I left the right. Thank you, Vaush. Okay, that's one small thing. But Vaush himself has done nothing of value. I mean, literally nothing. And don't tell me about he raised like 60,000. He could have raised $1 million for any cause. I wouldn't give a fuck, because the fundraising arm of the people that are on the opposite side of him raise more money, and we win through grassroots stuff. How do you win through grassroots stuff? Word of mouth, strong on the ground politics, powerful messaging. Vaush is a literal cancer that absorbs a spot that belongs to literally almost any fucking body else, right? Literally almost anybody else is more valuable than Vaush. Vaush should quit. He should go the fuck away. Why? Because first off, he did it. There you go. First off, there is no more speculation. Vaush just has lolly shit on his computer. It's just true. I saw it. You all have too. I don't care about the biased evidence. Normies don't care either. Normies are not going to see a guy who looks the way Vaush looks, because he cannot groom himself like a fucking adult. He just looks like a fucking Marxist nonce. He just does. He just does. It's not my fault. And I don't care that you don't like it if you don't. He just looks like he fucking goes after kids. And he talks like a person who, and this is actually true, is so fucking far up his own ass, he won't listen to other people. Which is literally all of the worst things people say about leftists. And you get right to it. Why? Because Vaush hasn't done anything of value ever. He has never actually king-made a candidate. He has never dropped fucking knowledge out of nowhere. He has never done original research. He has not been deeply involved in politics for decades. He is not a friend of multiple politicians. He is not a guy whose background reputation is so valuable that people will overlook the issues with him in public. Like someone like, a George Soros that people like to talk shit about. But you'll ignore like the public perception of him because he's very well connected and affluent and knows how to get shit done. That's not who Vaush is. Vaush is literally just a guy on the internet. And he has accomplished nothing outside of that. This is not an insult. It is a fact. Because he has done nothing valuable, when you weigh like a fucking Egyptian fucking crocodile god, when I'm weighing his heart against a feather, the feather is quite fucking heavy. You know what I mean? Or I guess it's light, the heart is heavy. He has failed his messaging, his platform, his community, himself, and the literal political prescriptions he stands for. Every day he has gotten online since the lolly thing. Every day. And retroactively before that. Every day until the lolly thing. He has failed his community by literally being an observable part of it, and he will not stop because he does not care how much harm he causes. He does not fucking care how worthless and destructive he is to the causes he goes near. Is he solely responsible for Jamal Bowman's loss? Of course not. Jamal Bowman is solely responsible for Jamal Bowman's loss because it's his campaign to win or lose as a fucking elected official. However, there's more than likely progressive victory attached themselves to some degree to Bowman. I don't know if they reached out. I don't know. I don't care. Because they fucking said, hey, vote for Jamal Bowman. We put together this coalition of the weirdest looking fucking people you've ever seen in a little group, one of whom is a literal outed lolly horsefucker aficionado. He is an outed, self-professed beastophile. He has come out pro-bestiality. Do you not understand that it's not a joke? It's not a joke when it's in black and white. It's not a joke when it's in the newspaper. This is in black and white. There's a few spelling errors. I don't know if this guy did his research. His fucking subscribers don't give a shit. His subscribers don't care. And understand, every time Vaush does anything, for the rest of his life, he cannot escape what he's done, nor does he try to. Every fucking time he does anything for the rest of his life, when he steps out of the fucking hole he dug for himself, there will be another one of these goddamn letters. It's the fucking speech from Hook. All the rest of time, for all the rest of your generation, just, what is it? Note after note after note, stabbed into door after door after door with dagger after dagger after dagger, and all of them signed James T. Hook. That is his fucking life now. This is why a lot of fucking pedos check out when they get caught. Because you don't get to escape it. You flew too close to the sun and on purpose, and now your wings are falling off, and he's trying to drag down people with him. He's unconcernedly, literally poisoning political movements. No one who read this is going to, if they are supporting this cause, going to look at it and go, well, I'm not going to double check that. And anyone who's against it is going to go, I'm going to share this everywhere I can. Because none of it's false. It's not false. No one cares about context. No one gives a fuck. Dude, people take literal good shit out of context to try to throw it against you, and that's hard. All of Vaush's shit is bad. It's mistakes. Fucking mess-ups. All things that were observably wrong. I start my fucking show off with that goddamn hard R copy pasta, because unironically, to a degree, it reminds me to stay on my fucking P's and Q's, because he can never outlive that. And if I fuck up that bad, I don't know why I would. I hope I fucking don't. Like, you don't deserve to outlive it. This is the game you play. And there's no fucking excuses for it about being young or early. In the 1990s, I remember hearing people say, once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. The 2000s, once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. What did you think was happening when you were talking into the microphone? What do you think was happening when you were making bestiality jokes? That's what they are. He's pro-bestiality. That's what I want to be the horse means. It's not even furry shit, which is way more hand-waveable, because normies just see that as like the same as S&M. You like to dress up when you fuck. It's strange. You should keep it to yourself. But like, no one cares. Literal animals, people consider that animal abuse. When Vaush jokes about that, other people, normal people, the voting public of America will hear that and say, that's animal abuse. And it was cute when it was on the internet and staying on the internet forever. But Vaush does not care. He is a sex pest by nature. He has been outed as a sex pest. He harassed that Poppy person in Destiny's Discord, whatever the fuck that was, and did not care. He did not care that it happened. And I remember at the time, first time I read about it, which is one of my first like, oh, hey, yo. He basically said, I'm sick of fucking hearing about it and I don't want to hear about it anymore. Same with him drawing constant allusions to fucking child pornography that don't need to be drawn. again and again and again. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. You don't ever get to stop hearing about it. I don't understand why people think that they can get online and talk about politics and talk about politicians and engage in the political world where you constantly bring up people's history, their entire history. You literally, I will see in the same times where he will say, like, I don't want to hear about this anymore. We've already gone over this 1,000 fucking times. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sick of this. I hear that again. And then they talk about, like, fucking, Tucker Carlson. Let's go back to 2012 when Tucker Carlson said this. Let's go back to 2001 when Tucker Carlson said this. Let's go back to 1985 when fucking Ronald Reagan said this. Let's go back to 1942 when this red all the way back. Did you think that you were fucking somehow immune to that process? Every time that you brought that up, did you think that somehow you were above the people that you were speaking about and that you would be immune to it while you're making constant jokes about bestiality? People's lives depend on these elections. You know what I mean? Maybe not necessarily trans people, you know what I mean? Or gay people. It might not always be like that level of stuff. It might not be Palestinian lives. It's anybody's life who is affected by it. People's jobs run on these elections. They're worried about Jamal Bowman getting elected because of reasons related to how they get their money and feed their families. They want George Latimer to get elected because of how they feed their families. They're upset about roads and shit. They're concerned about crumbling infrastructure. They want to know why they haven't gotten fucking 1G broadband. They want to know why the raccoon problem is so fucking out of control. They want to know when the street light on fucking First and Groshen is going to get fucking fixed. People's lives depend on these elections. Not even just a life or death way, the literal fucking day-to-day existence. And to have somebody who is a fucking outed lolicon bestiality obsessed fucking weirdo come out of his fucking hole dressed like an apartheid fucking horsewhipper to talk about the fucking election where he's already down, literally in New York, of all places. The guy who has said Israel deserves to be glassed, right? Wasn't that what it was? Israel should be glassed or some psychotic shit like that. You're going to go there, of all places, and say that somebody should vote for this guy? You're going to attach your fucking name to shut the fuck up. Know your place. Progressive Victory, unironically, I couldn't believe that they did it. I thought he was going to stay the fuck home and do phone banking or some shit. I didn't think that they were going to bring him to a district full of people with direct blood relatives living in the place where he said that they should get fucking, the U.S. should invade and kill them or whatever the fuck. Who even cares? Who even cares what the fuck he has to say at this point? Literally. Just make shit up. Put it in Vaush's mouth, because if it's not true now, it'll be true in like 5 minutes. He'll say anything to stay on air. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't even know how to. He doesn't even care to learn how to give a fuck about your life. He does not give a shit. He will sabotage elections. He will destroy movements literally by existing in them. And people who don't fucking think will attach him because they only see numbers and money. Oh shit, he's got an audience. He reaches millions of people. Even though he has a subscriber base of 400,000, he reaches millions of people. Yeah, most of whom fucking hate him. He has hate watchers. When you have to look at the audience of the guy. Have you seen his audience constantly sexually harassing him, lying to him, gaslighting him? They got the one guy who was like talking about like disgusting shit in chat, and Vaush won't fucking ban him because the guy keeps donoing. And it's like, oh, well, he's just a little scamp. It was like a fucking like conversation about circumcision or some shit like that, which is, you don't bring that up casually. You know, like people have very strong opinions on it. It's banned as a conversation topic because I don't want to hear about it in my Discord. I don't want to talk about it right now, and I'm not going to. But like, that's the community that you're bringing in. What do you think they're going to bring of value? What do you think VGG is going to do for somebody? VGG supports Vaush being Vaush. What are they going to provide of value to any fucking other community? What is VGG going to do? What are they gonna log on during a fucking live chat and start fucking like sexually harassing Jamal Bowman? Start calling other people, other panelists, twinks. Literally call people the R slur. This is a fucking community that constantly uses slurs to communicate any fucking idea. Any fucking idea. And they're led by a person who, unlike his fucking spiritual father of destiny, doesn't know when to step the fuck back and get the fuck out of the way. And who won't go out and explain himself. The first time you come out of your fucking hole after you drop child pornography drawn. Ah, shit, let's put context. The first time you crawl out of your fucking hole is to be part of an election? Are you out of your fucking mind? This isn't me being an expert on things like this. I was a small local journalist. I covered several elections. The spending cap, I think of the biggest one was something in the ballpark of like $250,000. And it was all spent by one guy who lost. And I know, and everyone involved in those campaigns know, if you had somebody to come out and say something nice for you, maybe not the guy who is within half a year fresh and no appearances before this, have your first public appearance after your fucking terabyte folder drops, be to support a politician in his fucking home district? To sit in this guy's fucking home district and talk about him? Did you think no one was going to say that you were there? Did you think it was going to be a secret? How much of VGG lives in Jamal Bowman's fucking district? How valuable is that? How spread? Did anybody do the research, or did they say like, well, shit, we can get our live stream cap from fucking the 2,000 with the other dildos that we fucking brought all the way up to 10K because Vaush gets up to like 10K lives. Who gives a fuck about live concurrence in a fucking international platform? I don't give a fuck what Canadians have to think about the district that I live in. I don't give a shit about their support for the election. With all due respect, I don't think you should be giving money to American elections. You don't live here. Give money to your own fucking elections. Dragging it in. Literally, do you think the people of fucking Yonkers and Westchester and the North Bronx are going to see? Do you think they're going to see, oh my God, these people, what, like literal white savior narrative to whites? Thank God these intellectual fucking beacons who can barely goddamn dress themselves for a conversation on screen. I haven't even gone into this. I'll fucking talk about this in a second. The one person is apparently disgusting. And they have like an upskirt going on almost the entire time because people didn't know how to set the fucking stage up and shit, which is absolutely fucking cracked and unnecessary because you don't need to see people's legs in talking headshots. You just shoot from the fucking waist up. So we'll get to that when we see it. I've heard it a number of times. Mostly I'm concerned because I don't want to get fucking tossed if it happens. TOS. But like, we are going to have to look into this shit because now I'm on one about it. And I'm kind of pissed because I don't want this to be repeated because shit matters. And I don't want people to think that it's valuable to randomly attach celebrities to movements that they can't help. You know what I mean? Like, like I wouldn't try to get like Kendrick Lamar, right? Would you pay $10 million or $10,000 to get Kendrick Lamar to show up in Compton and stump for a political person? Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. Absolutely. Be a great idea. Hey, everybody, this real motherfucker named Kendrick Lamar. Vote for this person. That would be cool. Would it be worth paying $10,000 for Kendrick Lamar to come to fucking Eastern Lexington? How about even something crazier? Winchester, Kentucky, which is just nowhere. Hey, we got Kendrick Lamar here. Okay, you're gonna get a bunch of kids that show up like, oh fuck, that's that guy, Kendrick Lamar. How many voters? How worthwhile is it going to be to motivate your voter base? But that's still $10,000 gone in either direction. One way you're like, oh fuck. The other way you're like, oh shit. Now imagine instead of Kendrick Lamar, you paid money to get fucking Vaush there. I would have paid him to not come. Unironically. I was watching this show. Perry Mason on HBO. It's very good. But it's during the Depression, and the main character is drinking at a movie just because he's got nothing to do during the day, and they didn't have television, so he's watching a movie, drinking, and a girl comes up to him and is like, she's a prostitute. Hey, I'll suck your dick for like 25 cents. And he goes, I'll give you 50 cents to not. And that's all I can think of when I think of the way that this progressive victory movement worked with the Bowman campaign. I mean, I don't know how related they were to it, but like, Jesus Christ. This is just all here. I didn't even fucking finish reading this yet. Yeah, the Vaush thing, women must win. But the most troubling part of Vaush's online videos is the moment where he accidentally opened a private folder of his which contained drawn images, including underage-looking girls and horses. Let's leave it at that, folks. You can delve more into this guy's sick perversions by Googling him. Let's just see. I have safe search on, right? We'll still just bring this up. We'll bring this up here. Let's see. Vaush's sick perversions. All right. So this is what comes up here. I do have safe search on, right? Yeah. Yonkers Times. Okay, but why does Vaush have such a fixation on the topic? I know that this is going to be about CP before I even click into it. Nah, I won't. What is transphobia? The neighborhood. Crazy leftist streamer promotes what? Openly rejects ethics and even truth in light of personal. Yeah, sick pervert is on the loose. Hexbear servers. Oh my god. I don't even want to actually look any further into that. He's also said odd things about people who possess child pornography. These two pieces of Vaush's online persona should have eliminated him from volunteering for the Bowman campaign. Thank you, Yonkers Times. I agree. But a photo from Progressive Victory below shows Vaush with a few other YouTubers and bloggers pushing for a get out the vote with Bowman campaign. Yeah, this is what I mean, this fucking weird-ass angle. Apparently she's wearing a skirt and not like, just in an inappropriate angle the entire time. If any one of our readers in Westchester got a weird knock on your door this weekend, let us know about it. Just the insinuation of that too. Like, this guy's weird about kids. He's weird about child pornography, and he's in your neighborhood. What, this guy, Vaush Video, you guys heard about this? Hey, everybody, welcome back to 102 Yonkers, 102.9 The Rock Station. We got a crazy one here. Listen to this story. I know some of you guys are getting ready to go out tonight. It's primary weekend. We got Bowman versus Latimer. The Latimer guy's eyes crazy looking. Look, you can't sneak up on George Latimer. He's got an eye pointed in every direction. He's a real political chameleon, people. Bowman is going up against George Latimer here, and we have from the Yonkers Times that there's a fella, an internet personality named Vaush. You get this, Bill. Check this one out. All right, man. What do you got for me? All right, this Vaush guy. Listen to this. This dude has gone online, and we have videos here. We cannot play it, people. And unlike this Vaush fella, we do have to follow the FAA guidelines here. But let me just run down a quick list of stuff. This guy has said when he's watching one of those adult videos, you guys know what I mean. He wants to pretend that he's a horse, and he has actually downloaded pictures of a horse interacting with people in a way that is completely inappropriate. They're drawn, so he's not going straight to jail. But I don't know. Is that do we really want that? Do we really want that rule on the books? Oh, man, I love somebody's talking to me like that. What is it? There's a horse with women with girls. Well, with little girls. Oh, a horse with little girls. Jesus. Oh, man, I was, you heard that Sound of Freedom movie. He sounds like one of those Sound of Freedom guys. Yeah, Sound of Freedom. Great film, by the way. We had these protests going on. This guy's a big supporter. He's a big supporter. You guys know SUNY New York. SUNY. We had the protests over there. The cops had to get called in. This guy's a big supporter of that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He not a big fan of Israel, though. He doesn't seem... I guess maybe he said something. Maybe he did about October 7th. But check this out. Listen, right here it says, in the Yonkers Times, he said that the U.S. should invade Israel. That's like one of our best friends. Is that not one of our friends? That's one of our... I couldn't imagine what you're going to invade Israel with who? Like, who's going to pay for that? I got my mom's going to go over. She's going to join. I got a cousin. He's Jewish. He's going to invade Israel? Yeah, invade Israel, he says. Is that not crazy? This guy is over here looking at horse pornography with little girls in it, talking about invading Israel. He's come to Yonkers, folks, so just lock your doors this primary season. We're be going in. This next one goes out to our friend Vaush that's coming in from out of state. Thank God he lives on the West Coast, but he's coming in. Vaush, this one's for you. The police, don't stand so close to me.